Well, very good evening, everyone. Great to see so many of you with us early doors as well. Amazing. Welcome to episode 89 of the Studio Rats Live Q&A. My name's James Ivey.
Hi, Paul Drew.
And you are all very welcome. There's so many in the house already. It's like you knew we were coming. Who knew? I would at this point normally say what you've been up to, Mr. Drew, but I pretty much know because we spent a lovely weekend in Manchester together.
Lovely.
Well, stressful.
It's good. I'd say my highlight of that was cranking up a Fender Deluxe.
What is it? It's a Fender Deluxe Reverb, the 2.
Yeah. What is the 2? So that was the 2. That is the Paul Revere design one, wasn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah, that was a bit of fun, wasn't it?
It was. And if you missed the video, check out the Studio Rats Facebook page because there is a video of Paulie Drew letting it rip to the largest audience he won't play to today.
Yeah, it was a big old venue, wasn't it?
It's Manchester Central is a big old barn. In fact, it used to be Manchester Central Railway Station, so that should give you some idea of how big it was. We were there for a little bit of cheerleading over the weekend, and yeah, it was good, wasn't it? In the end, it was good. When we ironed out all the monumental catastrophic issues, yeah, it was great.
It was nice. So, I guess we can talk about what we've been up to the last couple of days.
For me, what have I been doing? Making some videos. That's about it, really. Recovering.
Yeah, nice. I've been, and so I had some nice packages waiting for me when I got back from Manchester. So we could.
You had a nice package.
A nice package, yes. And the matches came back.
Ah, good.
Which was nice. Yeah, that came back today.
Cool. I had some post arrive before we went away to Manchester.
Would you want to do yours first, and then we can talk about that first?
They don't at this stage. It doesn't look very exciting. I have to admit, but I got these. And in here, in each of these, are all the components for some very lovely guitar effects pedals. I have to say thank you to the guys at Fuzzdog for these. Not because I have to say thank you because they're giving them to me. They haven't. I've bought these with my hard-earned cash.
How much money's?
About 50, including all the upgrades and all the extras. Because I'm not one of these people who's going to go, oh, I might upgrade the switches later. Sure. No, I'm going to go hard or go home. Yep. About 50 odd quid each one.
Each pedal.
Per pedal, yeah. So this one is a sort of dumbelator type thing, and this one is a kind of a. In fact, I can tell you because I've completely forgotten which ones I ordered.
Clive's in the house.
I ordered. He says a Dumbleoid.
A Dumbleoid, no less.
And that's the Dumbleoid Destructions, and a Double Down Boner Boost.
Double Down, but I thought you ordered some like Steve Lucas or something.
That's the look for the one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is that a clone of?
I don't know. I don't think it's a clone of anything. I think it's just a pedal.
What, just like a pedal that makes you sound like Steve Lukather? Surely it must be a pedal that Steve Lukather uses.
Hopefully. But yeah, I will know more when I get into the building of them and stuff. And of course there will be a video to following my constructions.
Yeah.
And my amazing soldering technique.
Well, we can show you because Clive's in the house. I don't know if you've seen Clive K. He's in the house. So we showed it last week. This is what one looks like properly made up.
Nice.
Which sounds very fancy. It does sound great, actually. So this is, nicely made pedals, actually. Nice. Everything's nice and solid. Yeah. Shall I talk about my acquisitions this week?
Please do.
I've got to send some business. First, I'm going to go through them individually.
Right.
Because I'm not joking. These things are proper game changers. Each one.
Oh, that's a very brave word, Paul.
I know it's a dodgy word. First of all, shall I go from low gain to high gain?
Go low gain, high gain. Yep. Low gain, high gain. Oh, hello.
So this is I finally got the package.
They finally turned up from.
Yeah, like nearly 2 months later. So they're vintage now. They're
vintage.
Like, I'm not joking. Like everything about all of these pedals is absolutely fantastic. but like the build quality, the sound of them, what they do is absolutely brilliant. So this is the steel string. It's a clean drive. So basically what this does is it says steel string on it. So think steel strings singer. So think like Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Lovely.
Right. So I plugged it in and went, well, hold on a second. That sounds so much better than my tube screamer. And I know it's not a tube screamer, but it does that sort of low gain sort of mid boost thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the tone suck. It doesn't suck off the bottom end like a tube screamer. That is so good.
Lovely.
Then we've got which is the overdrive special pedal.
Yeah.
Again, unbelievable. Just sounds so good. Like everything's come off the pedal board.
A dumble in a pedal.
It's a dumble in a pedal, but it's really good. It sounds great. And last of all, not from Vertex.
No, an angry driver.
Angry driver. So do you know what this is? So this is Boss's Boss and JHS pedals. You see,
right? Yeah, I was thinking that's a Boss pedal, but it's got JHS on it.
Yeah. So this is their collaboration. So what they did was they put a blues driver and the Angry Charlie in a pedal.
Ooh.
But what it's got on it, and I'm going to do a video on this because I'm quite excited about it. So you can choose between all the different options. So you can choose the Angry Driver.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Angry Charlie, which is the Andy Simmons pedal.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like a really smooth, really good distortion. You can click it back one, and you can go to the Boss Blues Driver.
Nice.
Sounds brilliant. Then you can have the Angry Charlie going into the Blues Driver.
Right.
Then you can have the other way around. So the Blues Driver going into the Angry Charlie. Then you've got series mode and parallel mode. So you can have them in series and parallel. And it is unbelievable. It just sounds so good. So it's just like, because so this is my can this beat the governor pedal?
Right. Ooh.
Because the Angry Charlie's a bit like a governor. It's that sort of thing. But it smashes it because it's really versatile because you've got all that. Not only that, but you've got a remote port in it. So you can plug a switch into it and then just have that on your board with a little switch, and you can switch between all the different options. So you can have like a blues driver. So you sort of light to mid gain overdrive, click on it, and then go to your full on distortion. So it takes up less space than
nice. Good shout. I like that.
Yeah, it's so good. And they
Very
sound
cool.
like just like proper. So I've been plugging them into all the amps and stuff, and just trying to work out what sounds best. And quite cool.
Very cool. Should we get on with the list of greetings and salutations and the questions that are already coming in?
Yes,
it's all good.
Jeff Rock, evening all. Evening, Jeff. Oh, hold on, go back. What's the picture? He's just got a new picture.
Hang on, sorry, wrong one. That's a mug, Paul.
Oh, it's the pedal show mug, isn't it?
It's a mug of his mug.
No, it's the pedal show mug.
No, it's a mug of his mug. Because his mug's behind it.
I know,
I was being clever, or not?
The pedal, I can't remember what it's called. Pet's in the house. Evening, Pet. Dave I like look at Dave Orr's amp. That's nice, isn't it? What's that? A Larry. What's a Larry? And Tom Anderson's nice, isn't it?
Yes, very nice.
Like that. Tim Jowering, ready for Rat Chat? Yes, sir. David Stockton, evening, Dave. Sophie's in the house. Hi, Sophie. How you doing?
You got it ready? Because I haven't got one here at the minute.
I haven't. It's in my skull. It's in my skull of doom.
Skull of beauty and loveliness.
Skull of plectrums. Dave McQuillan's in the house. Hi, Dave. John Wallace in the house. Rats everywhere. There are too many rats. Lee Abraham, howdy. Farid is in the house. Evening, everyone. K. Michael P. Howdy, guys from Sebastian, Florida. Mike Ayton is here. Evening from very moist Twickenham. Yes, we've got the weather coming, haven't we?
I don't know about you, but I walked outside to put the bins out earlier and nearly got blown away. There is some serious windage going on right now.
Yeah, it hasn't hit us yet, but I'm sure it will.
Certainly some pokey windage.
Yours. Ridiculous Wonk, evening from New Jersey, gents. Love the vintage Les Paul video. Yeah, Clive's in the house. The owner of those the owner of those guitars, those gorgeous guitars, is in the house. So if anyone's got any questions, Clive can answer away.
Yes.
Clive. Okay, here we go. Fuzz Dog strikes again.
Yeah, looking forward to building those.
Hi guys, just managed to order the Harrison Rosewood Telly. Can't wait. Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
We're talking about that later on, actually. I hope you've got a strong back, Aaron, because them's heavy.
Oh yeah.
Stephen James, good day from Brisbane, Australia. Good day, Stephen. JTK. Oh, that's a nice guitar. What is that? Looks like a bit like a. Is it a Reverend?
It's that kind of odd shape, but it's definitely.
I think it's a Reverend.
Nice. Duck egg blue.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Very
I
nice.
need pictures like this. It's a Lukather Hello Neighbor pedal. You need to look at that.
No. I think it's a joke about the Good Morning Neighbours. You know, his video.
Oh, I see.
I think there's a joke there. I could be wrong.
Nazmo King, curious if you guys had a recommended set of RWRP traditional sounding Strat pickups for me to mod an 86 Japanese Squire Strat. Price range up to $250 set is fine. What's RWRP?
I have no idea.
I mean,
RWRP. The acronym police are out in force, aren't they, tonight?
RWRP. I know everyone's going, it's this, everyone's shouting at us and we can't hear.
Rewound, repaired. I don't know. It'll come up. So we
Nazmo, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you.
We'll come back to it.
As soon as someone tells us what RWRP is. Avijit Maycap says, hey, have you watched the Don't Let Me Down version of John Mayer and Keith Urban? The tone of Keith's guitar was so sweet. Can you probably tell what he was using for that tone? Ah, yes. Oh, Mr. Dumble.
Yes, more than likely.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep on playing. Hi, everyone. Question. I'm thinking about getting a Kemper as an all-in-one solution. So I'm not an amp hopper. Prefer one thing that does it all because I want to have gear that I'm used to it. Okay. The Kemper's great. The Kemper's great. You get that. What's that? And I've asked this question before. What's that thing where you got too much choice, James? What's it called?
It's called something paralysis, decision paralysis.
That's it. Okay, so the Kemper's fantastic. It doesn't feel like a valve amp. Okay, so you've got to get that out of the way. You'll probably plug into it and go, this feels great. And live, I thought live it played great and it sounded great. In the studios where I noticed it a little bit. But that's only because we're used to playing through valve amps. So no, it's a great option. It's a great sounding thing. It's a great sounding thing. Make sure you have a look at the who's the guy from that band? He does all the
guy from that band.
Yeah, the guy from that band. Michael Brett. Get some Michael Brett profiles. Mm-hmm. They're the best ones, and they're so good.
Cool.
Anything with red plate? No, I haven't heard anything actually. No. So what we're doing, Clive, is we were going to wait anyway until the amp video's out, because funny enough, we didn't actually mention red plate, did we, in any of the other videos? So
no.
In case anyone's wondering, red plate is the amp that we played all of those guitars through when we were playing class guitars, those vintage guitars, and it was such a great amp, wasn't it, James?
I would go as far as to say the best amp I've ever played through. Just a stonking amp.
It was just so versatile, wasn't it? It was just like, just really, really good. It sounded great, and you didn't. I mean, it was loud, but it wasn't that loud, and it sounded that good. What
it reminded me of was, you know, when you see that video with Joe Bonamassa where he's doing he's basically saying the 59 Les Paul is the only guitar you ever need because it can make every sound.
Right.
Well, it can make every sound with specific amps. That is one of those amps.
Yeah, it's such
awesome.
I love all the switches on it. And it was just like different levels of boost, and you could just go like, oh, I just want a little bit of boost. Well, it just drives it a little bit, and it's fantastic.
Yeah,
really good amp. Lee Abraham says, almost got one of those angry drivers. Be interested to see the video on that. Yeah, I'll try and get. I might do that tomorrow. It's either that or the Vertex ones. I can't work out which one to do tomorrow. So red plate, as in the Alan Hines amps. Oh, I didn't know Alan Hines plays red plate. It's funny, Mike, because James and I hadn't really heard of red plate until we went over to Clive's house, and we plugged into the 3 different amps. So Clive's got some great amps. He had a 2-rock CRS. He had a Fuchs.
Yeah.
And he had the red plate, and James and me both went, the red plate is just smashes the other amps.
Yeah. I mean, they're all quality gear, and you can make a good noise in all of them, but the red plate was just something special.
Yeah, I loved it. Loved it a lot. Ridiculous Wonk, what are your favorite noiseless telly pickups? The Fishman Greg Cox set in the Reverend, or something else? Do you know what? The only noiseless pickups I've tried in the telly are the Fishman Greg Cox, and they are fantastic. They sound brilliant, and they're really versatile.
But we do have some pickups coming for not for tellies, but we can do that another day.
Yep.
Which is all very exciting.
Oh, yes. Yep, and mine, says Clive. Yep. Emmanuel John, good afternoon. I'm watching from Farmington, New Mexico. Oh, nice, man.
Wow.
Very nice. Chantal Piera, that's some serious windage in an Ontario, Canada too. Wow, we're all getting it, aren't we?
We're all getting windy. There's too many jokes, and I might be.
It might be the Commonwealth connection. Could be. Gal7615. Hi guys, looking forward to the show. Can anybody like and sub? Cheers. Cheers, Gal. Yes, absolutely. Please like and subscribe. Do all that sort of stuff. It really helps us. Get the get it out to more and more people. So it really does help. So if everyone just clicks on the little like button, if you're enjoying it. If you're not enjoying it, well, why are you watching it?
Oh, they're chatting amongst themselves already. It's a good thing.
They are good. David Brose, hello, mate. Keep on playing. The other thing, anyone knows Erland Krauser, a German guitarist? If not, check him out. Paul and James, did you listen to Joe and Beth Hart? We didn't. I didn't listen to it. I will do.
No, it's on the list. It's on the list.
Yes, we will do. We will do. Michaela says, hi, lovely Brit people. There's a new Line 6 amp. Somebody said it was a katana killer. Will you review it? We're talking about it later on, actually.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Max Hodges, oi, alala. Oi, oi. JTK, yes, it's a Reverend Double Agent W. Colour is chronic blue. I like that.
Nice, very nice.
That's nice, isn't it? Reverend do make some good guitars. Here we go. Aaron says reverse wound, reverse polarity. Oh my word.
Whoa! At this point, I'm going to step.
We're supposed to be experts at this.
At this point, I'm stepping well out of my comfort. I'm stepping back because I'm well out of my comfort zone.
Reverse wound, reverse polarity. I'm sorry, guys. God, I feel embarrassed that. Hey, but there's no point talking about something you don't know about, is there?
No, totally. I have absolutely no idea what that means.
I'd love to look. I tell you what. Look, all we can say. Is,
I'm going to post the links, the show links. Yes, so if anybody wants to come on and enlighten us about such things, please do, because I'm all for saying I'm up for learning something, and I'm going to go. Yeah, this sounds good. I would like to get once we've got our little partnership going with a well-known pickup manufacturer, pickup maker. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get him on the show.
Yeah,
because I think that'd be very interesting. And then everyone else can nerd out about pickups, and I'll sit here and just nod.
The only thing, So what we will say is, or the only thing we can say about pickups is, we're getting a couple of sets of pickups from Kinman.
Yep.
Kinman, sort of high-end pickup maker in Australia, James.
Australia. There's a set coming for my Les Paul Studio.
Yeah.
And a set coming for your Strat.
Yeah. So. So there will be a Strat pickup set review coming soon.
Yes,
with full. I guess we're gonna have to do the full putting together sort of thing too.
Yeah, well, I'll because the cool thing about these ones is they're solderless as well. It's all clipped together, and so no fingers will be burnt, and no shirts will be destroyed.
Thank the Lordy.
Basically, you're all telling us exactly what
everyone knows.
Everyone knows, and we clearly don't. So I'm going to go in there.
Oh, okay. So they don't hum in positions 2 and 4. Oh, okay. But that's most pickup sets don't hum in positions 2 and 4.
Yeah. All right, I'll go with that. I'll nod and agree at the moment.
I'd say most pickup sets don't hum in 2 and 4 because it's the way that.
Yeah, it's the combination of the two. They're effectively humbucked, but they're not. If that makes sense.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me know what we're talking about.
Kemper.
Yeah, Kemper is great. Love the powered one. Yeah, and honestly, I used to gig with a Kemper, and it was, I think, arguably, I think the band thought it was the best sound
because they could turn you down.
Absolutely, as they should. Sorry, New York here. Nice one. Hi, Phil.
Cool.
Aaron Short, option paralysis, but without one, you get amp shopping paralysis. It is true. It is true. Like, I've been going through this, as you guys might be watching the videos, I've been going through this, like, find the perfect amp, and there isn't the perfect amp.
I don't think there is.
No, there's not.
I actually think the closest thing we've got to is that. But even that's not perfect because you can't have like all 6. If you had all 6 modules in all at the same time, you're probably getting close. But then you're back to option paralysis.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's not perfect because for me the clean section of that amp and the power section of that amp it's all about those little modules. Fantastic. Yeah. Anyway, but So I've got 4 amps here at the moment. I've got 4 amps, and I'm going. Actually, I don't really want to sell any of these because they all do stuff that I really like, and I'm having a right old job between the Bad Cat and the Matchless Lightning.
Cool. At this point, we are joined by greatness.
Oh,
I'm going to say his name's not his full screen name. I'm going to say his name's Aaron Short, but he says he's Aaron Short Music. So here we go. Welcome to the show, Aaron.
Name.
Hello, how you doing, guys? Can you hear me okay?
How you doing?
All good, thank you. How are you?
I felt brave to jump on. I've been wanting to do that for a few weeks.
Mate, you're more than welcome.
Come and join the craziness.
Hold on. What's he got in the background? Is that a
Acoustasonic?
No. Whoa. Yeah, it's Acoustasonic in the background, but is that a...
That looks like a what they called amp thing that you like.
If I move forward, it blurs it out more.
It's an amp 1.
It's an amp 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice one.
Amp 1, Princeton, Acoustasonic. I just had the frets filed down because they were sharp.
Oh, really? Out of the factory, they come sharp.
Well, this one did. It was one of the first Strats they made, and it was fine. And then over the months, it dried out and it wouldn't come back. So I've never had that done before, but my guy filed it down and now it plays beautifully. So sometimes it's got to be done, right?
Cool. Wow. What is going on with like high-end guitar companies like leaving sharp frets? But you shouldn't. Or even a neck that's going to shrink to.
Well, hang on. I'm in New York. I'm not in England. I'm in New York, right? So
okay.
The apartments here get really dry. So a lot of I do have that issue with a lot of guitars. Like right now, it's like 28% humidity.
Right.
It's too dry. So wood is wood, right?
Yeah.
Problem. Yeah. James, I wanted to ask you. You mentioned I left a message. You didn't reply to me about. You said you go to Felix though. I'm from Suffolk originally.
I'm originally an Ipswich boy. Originally.
Oh, you are. That's where I was born. Yeah. Awesome.
I'm originally from Ipswich. Whereabouts in Ipswich? Let's get nerdy for a minute because we can.
I was born. No, I like that. I was born in Ipswich Hospital, raised in Leiston.
Right. Okay. So just up the road. This will mean nothing to anybody else, but I'm actually a Chantry boy. Believe it or not.
I can't think what that is.
The rough end of Ipswich.
Oh. I didn't go there. I was in a small town, Leiston, and then I went to college in Colchester at the Institute.
Right. Yeah.
Colchester Institute.
The Destitute, you mean?
It got a bad rep, but it was all right.
Yeah.
It did me well.
Yeah. There's a lot of good players that come out of there.
Yeah.
And how did you end up in New York, or was that just hey, why not?
Yeah, I got the artist visa. Moved here 2010.
Cool.
Nice.
So everyone thinks I'm in England because of my accent, but I'm in New York.
And what do you do? What's your thing?
So I do like a lot of solo gigs, acoustic and looping. That's what I've been doing the whole time. But obviously with the lockdown, I was already doing YouTube, and now I'm doing YouTube a lot more.
Yeah.
But luckily the gigs are coming back, and I need that to pay for the gear that I'm buying for the channel. So
I think I've seen one of your videos. I recognize you.
I did some stuff on the Quad Cortex.
Maybe that's where I saw you.
Yeah, I
Maybe
did like
that's what it was.
looping on the Quad Cortex, and I've done
that would probably be it then. Nice one.
And yeah, I had some questions for you, like with the amps and everything too, because I've been through the same thing, trying solid state power amps, and then trying real tube amps, and then going back to like the powered Kemper and the Quad Cortex. I just keep going back and forth.
Yeah.
Have you made a decision yet on what amp you're gonna?
Yeah, well, yes, I think so. At the moment, so I've got the Matchless Independence 35, which was the white one. If you've seen the video,
yeah,
and
that's my favourite, by the way, by a country mile.
Oh, yeah, but mind you haven't tried some of the other ones.
True.
I've got a Matchless Lightning, which is like a 15-watt thing. That sounds great. I can't get rid of that now because it sounds so good. I've got a Bad Cat Cub 30. Oh, one of the hand wired point-to-point ones. That's really good. And I've got my divided by 13 over there that I could possibly sell because that's a bit like this lot anyway. So it's.
But let me ask you, because I've been wondering lately, as a fellow YouTuber, like you've done this series, right? What's the ultimate amp for me? And I'm about to do what's the ultimate modeler for me and sell some things off. And I do a lot of acoustic guitar. So what's the ultimate acoustic guitar for me? But at the end of the day, there's so much out there now. It's so hard to commit to one thing. So do you think you will actually settle down, or do you think in 12 months you'll be doing that series again? And do you think YouTube is feeding that and it's unhealthy?
That is a really good question.
Sorry to be that's very direct and personal, but
I can actually answer this for Paul.
Okay, well, let me answer. Oh, go on, you go first.
I think Paul suffers from the thrill of the chase. I actually don't. I think he's probably found the ultimate amp 6 or 7 times over, and it's all about the chase. It's all about it's the next thing, the next great amp. I don't ever think you'll find it. I really don't.
Well, possibly. So just to answer your question, yes, I was going to say that I think the chase, the actual hunt for it is I was having so much fun, and it wasn't a YouTube thing. It wasn't like, oh, well, I know how to get views and let's do this. Because to be honest, I think if you did a Katana video, I think you'd get more. Because it's like it's more popular than loads of people go, hold on a second, why are you spending £4,000 on an amplifier? That's ridiculous. I'm not going to do that, so I'm not interested in watching that video. While I think if you did like what's the ultimate cheap amp, that'll blow up.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be massive.
Yeah.
Actually, I should do that now, shouldn't I?
I'm not judging, and this is something I deal with this too, because I just bought 2 Harley Bentons for that reason that everyone's telling me that you have to review them because they're the ultimate affordable guitar. And I've had a couple of issues with them that I'm now going to have to add into the video, and it's actually just causing me more kind of stress over that stuff. But, I wanted to cover it. And you're right, the really expensive stuff doesn't tend to get the views because it is too expensive.
Yeah.
But we've also got to cover stuff that we're buying for ourselves and not go into debt over. I'm not judging you. I'm saying for me, I can be late night on Reverb buying stuff and justifying it for the channel, and then you get too much, and there's so much gear now that it's like, and you're right, James, there isn't an ultimate. Like, you've got the Synergy. I had the Synergy for a while too, and then you get the other thing of, well, it's not the actual amp. And then you get the actual amp, and it's not flexible enough. And that's why I made that joke about the Kemper. I think the powered Kemper is a really good option with the cab. But you're right, you can then think, well, I'd rather just have the actual amp, but then you get the actual amp and you want the other. So I think for me, I need to find a middle ground where I have like a Quad Cortex and a couple of amps. And then
but here's something I've said to Paul several times. I don't care what the amp is. I still think you give Paul a Telecaster and give it to Paul, he still sounds like Paul.
Right.
Well, we all do.
But when you get down to the minutiae of the difference between a multiple £1,000 Bad Cat and a multiple £1,000 Matchless and a multiple £1,000 whatever the next, pick your next brand. I think we're now talking, it's about you as a performer, not the actual sonics that you're putting out. You could play the same thing through most of those amps and none of your audience would know the difference.
Yeah, but I really hate that expression where the audience don't care, because none of this is for the audience, right? This
Oh
is all
no,
for us,
absolutely
right?
not. Absolutely
Right.
not. But I still think, on a recording, Paul still sounds like Paul, whether he's playing through mine JCM 900 or the Synergy or any of the amps I got behind me or any of his amps that he's had now or previously. It still sounds like Paul.
I think there is, and I think that's the case with everyone. I think everyone sounds like they sound through an amplifier, but I think there's one caveat to that, and I think that's like the old Tweed sort of amp, which just farts out in a different way. When you distort it, it just it's got. I mean, listen to some Joe Bonamassa stuff. Joe Bonamassa, I think, has made it sound fantastic, but it's got that undefined thing about it. I can't explain it. It's like a flub at the bottom, right. And I think you plug one of those in and you plug in a matchless or whatever. They sound very, very, very different.
Did you see the George Harrison Telecaster reissue?
I've got that in my I've got my list of things to talk about at the top and to show. So we're showing later on.
I managed to get one on order from Sweet Order.
Nice.
And the thing is, I watched the documentary and I want to be George Harrison, but I'm quite aware that guitar won't make me George Harrison. And also, there's some stories going around today that he didn't even like the guitar when he sold it.
Really?
Because it was too heavy. The new ones are chambered, so it's not the actual guitar that he played anyway.
Oh,
so
they are chambered. Oh, good.
No, they're light now.
Dan's got an old one, hasn't he?
Yeah,
which isn't chambered, and a really, really old one. So I think that's a quite authentic, but again, really heavy.
They're really heavy, and lately I'm into like light guitars. I want every guitar to be under £8.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
£7 if possible. But...
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
I'll just say at this point, Max, I know you're waiting to come on. We'll come on after Aaron, because we've got a queue of people. It's amazing.
This is great. Actually, would you guys come on to my channel sometime and do one of these? We'll choose a topic. That'd be great.
Yeah,
I love that.
Definitely, let's do that.
Can it be drums, please?
We'll talk about it. No, I'll talk about Ipswich with you, and I'll talk about amps with Paul.
Nice one.
That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, keep up the great work with the channel, and don't buy too many guitars this week. Okay?
I'll do my best.
Right.
Cheers,
Aaron. I'll do the same.
There is an auction in a couple of weeks, so I can't promise that.
Yeah.
Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.
Take care, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Okay. At this point, please welcome Mr. Max Hodges to the stream.
Oh, good grief.
Oh, look at this man's equipment.
No. The ladies might get a bit iffy about it.
Mate, is this in your house?
Yes, mate.
Good man.
Hang on. Here we go.
Have you got? And is there a Mrs. Hodges?
There is. She's at the other end, mate.
Does she mind? Does she mind all this business going on?
She tolerates it. We've been married for 31 years.
You posted a great picture on Facebook the other day, and it must have been a stream of. I'm not quite sure what the collective amount of Ibanez is. Yeah, the wall of Ibanez.
Oh my word!
Yeah, there's stuff.
Good job. Look at that lot.
There's some interesting things there, but yeah, I may have missed it because I was having fun trying to get on StreamYard. But did you get a definition of what RWRP actually means and what the effect is?
The definition, yes. The effect. Well,
right.
Okay. Let me just give everyone a bit of backstory. I met Max about 1 million years ago in Exeter. It was at that really cool little music
Digital
show.
to analog.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Down in Exeter, and I think that show was as much about the industry getting together for a beer as it was about actually mixing with punters.
Oh,
but hey, that's another thing. And you actually tweaked my what was then my brand new Strat.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't brand new because it was an 89, but yeah. So there's a lot of history there already, but there's a lot of gear behind you. But yeah, please do inform us about RWRP and what it actually means and what it actually does.
Right.
Please.
So fundamentally, if you have two humbuckers that are just wound the same, and you split the coils, and then you use the in between position, that's not humbucking. That'll just be like having two single coils in parallel, just as much noise. if you've got RWRP pickups, when you use that in between position, those in between positions are also humbucking for both sets of coils.
Right.
So on the Seymour Duncan P rails, for example, when you've got both P90s on and you're in the middle, it's humbucking.
So okay, so maybe you can fill me in, because I thought he said that it was a Strat set he wanted.
Well, the same idea applies. If you've got a reverse round centre pickup, your in between positions 2 and 4 will be humbucking.
I don't think I've ever played a Strat that hasn't done that.
Oh yeah, there are plenty. All the old ones.
Isn't that weird? I wonder if wow.
Quite a lot of the new ones since, I mean, the idea, I think they started becoming quite common in the late 80s, early 90s, but not all of them by any means have been like that.
Right.
And you go for the vintage stuff and they weren't, but Fender started going, oh, hang on a minute, if we do this with all of the new ones, they'll all be quieter in the middle position and people will like it. And then some people went, we don't like it. We want our noise. It's a bit like vinyl in that respect.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, understood. That makes a lot of sense.
Interesting.
So yeah, that was basically what I wanted to go. Make sure you got the answer. Was it basically means that the between positions will be humbucking and they'll be nice and quiet.
So the center of a set of 3 on a Strat, the center one is reverse wound.
Yeah.
So in position 2 or 4, you get they're humbucking. And
you get humbuckers. Yeah,
makes perfect sense.
Understood. Can we talk about your amps?
Oh yeah, if you like.
So what's that? What's the Silver Laney? What's going on up there?
Right, Laney Chrome Zone. Dates from the mid-90s.
Nice.
Had the same preamp on it as the VC series.
Yeah.
So sort of, 2 channels, but 4 different gain levels.
Ooh.
So it's effectively a 4-channel amp.
Yeah.
Nice.
But they don't like you saying it's a 4-channel amp. But the back end is the power stage of an LC30. So it's basically like an AC30 with four channels. So it does clean, very AC30-ish. Then it does this kind of gritty breakup that's like an old Marshall. Then there's a chunky, great JCM 800 channel. And then there's the most screaming high gain thing you've ever heard in your life.
Oh, nice.
And it was great. I gigged it for years and years and years and years. And it's because it's only 30 watts. You know, it's a sensible thing to be playing on stage in a band.
Yeah. Rather
than stupid great 100-watt thing that no one needs and the PA engineer, including myself as a live engineer, hates.
Yeah.
So, it's a 2x10 combo. So the 10-inch really cuts through a mix.
Right.
It hasn't quite got the low end grunt on the bottom that you get from a 12, but the mid presence and cut through the mix is absolutely stonking.
Nice.
You sit that on top of a bigger cab, like 4x12 or a 2x12 cab, you've got all the low end grunt in the world and mid definition. You can put your mic in front of the bit you like.
Nice.
Cool.
They sound fantastic, but they are a bit fragile these days. I mean, it's mid-90s. It's 30 years old, basically.
Right.
The only other guy I know who's got one who still uses it is Steve Rothery.
Oh, Rothery uses one. Nice one.
But he doesn't take it out on tour. It lives in the racket club and it doesn't go anywhere.
Right. Nice.
So I think he still had 2 of them the last time I was there.
Wow.
So, but yeah, so that's my baby. It doesn't get used an awful lot because, I mean, it does have a half power switch, but even at 15 watts, it's bloody loud.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think people realize how loud 15 watts is.
Yeah. Then, I mean, funnily enough, you might discover I'm a bit of a Laney fan.
Yeah.
But there's a DC3.
Yeah.
I don't really like it.
Oh, really?
I've had it for. I kind of lifted it off a mate 20 years ago, and I haven't given it back. It was really handy when I was running the commercial studio, as it were. We had that in the studio all the time because it was really handy as a sort of Swiss Army amp.
Yeah.
You know, people came in. Oh, there's a boogie on hand. Plug into that.
Yeah.
Track the guitar. Job done.
Nice.
So you know, it's. I like it when I use my ancient analog pedal board in front of it, but I don't really like its own tone.
Right.
I've got an Ibanez PUE5 tube, which is a pedal board from the late 80s, early 90s. Max. It was also released under the Maxon brand, and it's got a high voltage, mains voltage, proper high tension tube circuit in it.
Oh, nice.
That's like what I've got. That sounds like my RDT 800.
Yeah, it's I think it's quite a bit older, mate.
Right.
but it sounds absolutely. It's basically got what amounts to a TS9.
Yeah.
Running into an actual valve drive section. Nice. And then there's a delay and a chorus and bits and pieces on it. Plug that into the front of the boogie and it sounds wicked. Oh. But that's the only way I've ever made a boogie sound nice. Interesting. And then there's the current models IRTs. Yeah. In the sort of one in the rack and one sort of hiding behind the guitars. I can't actually see what I'm pointing the camera at very well, so
No, we can see the IRTs, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so my main amp is actually the IRT Studio in the rack.
Oh.
And that's my front end, and actually I just use the IRT 60 as a slave.
Right.
So running 2 cabs, got the TC electronics up there, give me sort of stereo effects and bounce the delays across.
Cool.
Get some serious welly off the head through the 4x12, and then the 4x12 it's actually loaded with Celestians rather than being a crate 4x12, as it were.
Yeah.
I've got 2 G12 75s, T's, and 2 something else which I can't remember, but they were cream on the back of them.
Nice.
I can't remember exactly what the model number is, but I found them on eBay and thought I'll give them a go as an alternative, so I can mic up. I've got the cab wired so it can be stereo or mono or whatever. So
great.
2 sockets on the back and auto switching on it. Works great. Sounds fantastic live. And James might occasionally have watched one of my Facebook live videos. That's what I'm playing through when I'm doing them.
Cool.
I'll check it. I'll check them out. I'll check them out next time you're on.
Yeah, but there's a couple of other bits hidden away. But what I really love is that the Captor X. It's fantastic.
They make good stuff, don't they?
Yeah, especially if you're doing anything like streaming live, you can plug one of these buggers into that. Pick your cab. Tweak the tone. Stream it straight out through something like an iRig stream or whatever like that, and bingo, you're online live with a real amp, and there's no worries about I can hear me mic as well, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And no worries that you're waking up half the street because you've got everything on full tilt to get good.
Well, we've been in this house 8.5 years, and nobody's complained yet.
Wow.
And the neighbours behind us did once say, "Oh, that's really nice."
On a summer evening, open the windows and entertain the masses.
Yeah, I tend not to do that. I've done it once or twice, and still nobody complained. So they must be doing something, but I don't know if it's right.
Awesome.
Either that, or it's just like, oh God, he's big and scary. We're not going to go and complain.
That's probably
Yeah, I mean the reverse pistols in goat's head format on the front of my old Laney 4x12.
Nice. I'm guessing you're a bit of a metal fan, Max.
Yeah, but I play anything: blues, jazz, country. I used to
no.
In the days when you were both at school.
Yeah.
I used to demonstrate for Fender.
Oh, did you? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So when Eddie Allen, the same sort of period as Eddie Allen and people like that.
Oh, nice. I'm guessing. I'm guessing you've got some skills, Max.
I wouldn't like to say so today, but 35 years ago, I could probably scare people.
Nice one.
But yeah, I mean, it's great. It's good fun. Check it out at some point. I am a bit of an Ibanez nut.
Yeah.
I did used to have more, but I kind of went on a guitar diet because the thing is, I don't know if either of you have ever spent.
Speak of.
Well, I used to own a guitar shop.
Ah.
About half the stock was mine. Oh, well, how much is that one? No, you can't have that. Eventually, I got round to the idea that actually we're here to sell things to people, but
that's the danger.
There came a point where I just had too many, and I kind of got to grit teeth and go, right, if I'm going to have a collection of guitars that do various things, it's going to be one brand. There's a couple of other non-Ibanez that I kept for sentimental reasons. Over there's a black Strat in the corner that was the Strat that I toured with. I did a tour for when it was Arbiter.
Yeah,
I did a tour going around showing people what a guitar was, how you built them, what all the parts were, how they went together, and playing it. And that was basically built out of custom shop parts by myself about 130 times.
Oh wow!
And they gave it to me when I stopped doing it. Wow. There's an 80s Charvel Model 4, and then a couple of other bits of old Bash stuff that I just kind of, they're not worth anything, but they're interesting to have around.
Nice.
And ridiculous bass.
Oh my god! Oh, yeah.
Very pointy.
It's quite pointy. It was a gift from a mate.
Is it a Status? Is it? What is it?
No, it's an Epiphone limited edition Thunderbird.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the one behind it.
Oh, the one behind it, that's Yamaha.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, no, the RBX thing was cracking little bass.
Yeah,
it's just it's again Swiss Army bass. Oh, I need to lay down some bass parts. Can I be bothered to get the bassist? Nah, it's all right. I'll just do it on that. I do understand that bass is a rhythmic instrument that happens to have notes, as opposed to a melodic instrument that ideally you're supposed to play in time. So thou shalt not F up the groove.
Absolutely.
Something like that, yeah. Said the drummer.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So yeah, that's my little corner of hell.
Nice, very nice, mate. Very nice.
And there's other weird stuff like the little Zoom. I just use that as a MIDI pedal to control the rack.
Yeah.
The weird grey laney thing.
Yeah.
Thing called a Babel switch. If you ever see one, buy it.
What is it?
It's a MIDI switcher for amps.
Oh, nice.
So it talks in all the various pedal formats that Laney have ever used are available on the back of it. So you can plug it into any Laney amp and most other amps. And then you can plug a MIDI pedal in it. It's got two switchable loops on it as well. So you can switch pedals in and out of your input chain, or you can switch effects racks in and out of your effects loop chain. It does. There's four function switches on it, so it switches the IRT. The IRT's actually got the same switch arrangement as the Chrome Zone had with those 4 channels. So you can switch between the channels, switch reverb on and off, switch the loops on and off, blah blah blah, all from one press of a button. I believe we're supposed to play guitar, not tap dance.
Yeah.
So I'm very much in about efficiency on stage. I want to press one button. I want it to change my amp channel. I want it to change the effects patch. If there's any, if there's on the racks, if there's any pedals that want to go in, I want it to do all of that. And I only want to press one button to do it. And I don't want to pay for a custom set to do that. So Roger Williams from Laney brought me the Babel switch to show me in about 1997, something like that. And I haven't let go of it since.
Very cool.
Nice. I'll keep my eyes
open. Getting Bob Bradshaw to build.
Yeah. So I mean, the Bradshaw switching rigs are fantastic, but by God, they're eye-wateringly expensive.
Oh yeah.
And heavy.
Yeah.
Well,
I have had to move them around a fair bit.
Anyone who uses those usually has a tech. So
yeah, well, exactly.
Or two.
So I just. I got that off Laney, and it's been absolutely bulletproof. I don't know why they stopped doing them, to be honest. It was a thing that they had a go at for about 5 years, and then they stopped doing it. But they were fantastic and bulletproof.
Excellent.
They're so saying it'll blow up tomorrow now.
No, fine.
Great
Anyway,
stuff. Great to have you on,
right.
Max.
It's been a blast, guys. But I've actually got to go and finish cooking dinner.
Oh, nice, mate.
But
Right, take care. We'll see you
I'll
soon.
stop in at some point and deliver acoustics wisdom or something.
Perfect. Please do. Please do.
Ciao, guys.
Nice one, buddy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh yeah,
See you later.
there's the button. Ciao.
Bye-bye. Right. Where were we?
Where were we? I think we were about here somewhere. I think we were there.
New York here. Yes, I guess we are.
Yes, yes.
Jim Jarring says Lukather was using a bomb distortion pedal to boost his Bogner for a long time. Not sure if he still is. The bomb distortion was a pedal I used to build for many years. Nice.
Very cool.
Nice. Aaron Short Music, get the powered head and direct profiles and use a real cab. Sounds really good. Nice.
Yeah. Defo.
Phil Jam, question. Recommendation for a small size gig amp to use with pedals in front of amp. Phil, give us a price. Give us a price band.
Yeah.
Love to talk about all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Right. Let's go there.
Lee Abraham says you'll probably cover this in the news, but why have Line 6 released a Catalyst now when the Blackstar ID and Gitana have cornered the market? We are definitely going to be talking about that.
Definitely going to be talking about
that. Can't we have something completely new?
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be nice.
There's a few things like that we'll be talking about. That
can I join? Yes, and you did.
Yes.
Jeff Rock, RWRP.
Sorry, I'm just flicking through.
Okay, mate. Yep.
Yeah. There we
go. Clive says Kinman got famous as making noiseless pickups for Hank Marvin. He did.
And yes, some of those are on their way to Paul.
Yeah.
Whether they are actually the same ones, I'm not sure, but apparently they're going to. I think it was. I think the phrase he used was "spank some life into your Strat." I think was the exact.
Awesome, yeah. I look forward to that. Emmanuel John says, "Awesome Boss IR200 videos. You made me buy one, and I'm loving it. Does guitar and bass very well. Can it be used for acoustic amp bypass with a guitar IR?" Yes. So, funny enough, I had a video chat with someone today who was doing that exact thing. If you buy some acoustic IRs, apparently, yeah, you can do that. But yeah, cheers, Emmanuel.
Cool.
Ken says, do they make a telly pickup that's clean and doesn't have high output and not so bright? Who's they?
Possibly on the Kinman thing. Yeah. Possibly.
I personally think. I think telly pickups and Strat pickups. If you give me a Strat pickup any day, it's ear bleeding. A telly pickup, bridge pickup isn't high. Doesn't have a bright, harsh shrillness like a Strat. That's why I always pick up a telly, because I don't really like a Strat bridge pickup.
It's funny because I like a Strat bridge pickup for those really far out kind of rhythm sounds in a track, because they just give some brightness and some tingle, but you haven't got to have them loud enough to be offensive.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, interesting. Gal 7615. I've Kinsman's hot rails in my Strat bridge. Fantastic, nice. They don't hum because they are yes.
Yeah. We're there.
We got that. Yeah. David Brose just got back from a road trip where I got to see 4 shows: Eric Johnson, Gary Clark Jr., Marcus King, and Billy Gibbons. Awesome! Oh my God, what a gig that is!
With Jimmy Vaughan.
Wow, that's a gig, isn't it? That's a gig you go home and go, I'm going to give up because I'm never going to be able to do anything.
See, now, I don't see it that way. I come home from that gig and I'm absolutely inspired. I know people who come home from those gigs and go, "Oh my God, I'll never be that good." Well, the answer is no, you probably won't, because you're not those people.
Yeah, absolutely.
At this point, we are once again. What's going on tonight? Everyone's trying to join us. It's great.
Everyone's coming on.
Amazing. Please welcome to the show, Steve Bull.
Hi, Steve.
Hello. You okay?
Yeah, yourself, mate?
Yeah, good. A quick one. I won't keep you long because I know you've not done the news and stuff. Little project studio.
Nice.
Hobbyist, so nothing, nothing major.
Very nice.
Would I, if I just give you a quick show round, on that wall there,
Yes.
where that,
Yeah.
and there, would I benefit from any sort of treatment
Yes.
at all? Now, I do use sauna works.
Right.
Yeah, get yourself a couple of corner traps.
Right.
You can do that. So I can't remember who built my ones. You probably can't see them. Can you see that there?
Yes.
Yeah, like a triangular shaped trap that goes in the corner and helps with some of the absorption, the absorption of base frequencies. Because James will tell you that, like in those in the corner of your room is where all the bass is going.
Right.
It's all
How's it
building.
go?
Very good. Bass
Right.
loves basically bass loves corners, and what
Right.
you don't want is that bass getting out of the corner once it's got in there and started to go blah, 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 and I'm not doing that again. So what you do is you put a bass trap in there, and what a bass trap is effectively is a very, very dense, acoustically absorbent thing, usually triangular, or they could be flat that you put against a wall to make a triangle.
Right.
I would personally avoid acoustic foam.
Yes.
Because what you might think it does work for an amount of time, but it does start to break down, and then what you end up with is foam dust all over the floor, and it just goes horrible and all starts to break down. It's not very nice.
Right.
But yeah, get some.
You could build it yourself. You could build it yourself. Get some.
Yeah. Well, I was looking, and obviously everyone said 100 mil deep, and it's not the biggest room, so I don't want to close the room in.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, say, 50 mil panels with the rock wool inside, just to help out a little bit. I don't want to do it for the if it doesn't make any difference. I
built for my first studio. I built a whole load of a rock wool sheet is effectively 2x4.
Yeah.
And I built the high density acoustic acoustic rock wool. I built a wooden frame, and on the front I got just some Hessian type material, like thin permeable material.
Yeah.
Back, some pegboard.
Oh.
And the pegboard's the real key, because the pegboard has loads of holes in it, and those holes are actually the base goes through and not back.
Right. Okay.
And I think I did the whole. I made about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 10 of them for about 150 quid. And yes, you might not need to build that many, because I did the whole kind of clouds and at the two size things like
I kind of want to avoid that, but obviously there's no point in doing half a job as well.
The more you do, the more reward you will get. But certainly some base trapping in the corners will really help you out.
All 4?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant.
Can before you go though, if you finished, can we talk about your Brad Paisley?
Good eyes.
Very
Mate.
Yes, Esquire.
That
this has got the whatever it's called, the ghost pickup, whatever it is, in it.
The secret agent.
Secret agent, that's it.
Yeah. Really, I love it. Absolutely love it.
Is the secret agent pickup useful, or is it? Oh, it is. Does it sound like a?
I think it is, but I'm not you.
Right. Oh, mate,
I'm not good at you. What I mean.
I'm sure you're better.
No, I've not got your ears. I like it, but it normally stays on the back. Usually, anyway.
Does it?
Yeah.
Do you ever use a mid position?
Yeah, it's usable. It's usable. But yeah, it's really light. Really, really light.
Nice.
It's Palomina.
Yeah.
Something like that. With apparently it's got a spruce cap on it. Very
nice.
So yeah, But yeah, it's brilliant. I love it to bits. And all that, I've not had it. I got it in April, and you can see because it's the road one.
It's had a lot. It's had a lot of love already.
Yeah, it's nitro, so it's yeah. I love it. I love it to bits.
Oh, great! I've got to try. I really want to try one. I really want to try because I haven't tried the pickup, but I use the neck pickup so much. But I love. See, I've got my my brown telly is an Esquire.
It's an Esquire, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that guitar just sounds so good. But ideally, I still like the look of the Esquire. I'd like to put the pickup underneath. But
yeah,
I think it would just cut off some of what I need out of it.
Well, I'm like you. I'm getting a thing for Telecasters. So
yeah.
I've got an American Deluxe in the cupboard.
Oh,
I've had that 12 years, 12, 13 years, and it's great. But
nice.
There's something about that.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice looking guitar, that.
Yeah. Cheers. Right, I'll let you go, guys. But thank you. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, Steve.
Great.
Take care.
Cheers, buddy. Take care.
Bye.
Wow, it's like Piccadilly Circus around here tonight.
Isn't it? Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome stuff.
Right, so we got Nasmo says, so my question was, do you have any recommendation Strat pickups you like? I just want the ones that are okay, that went off the rail. It did a bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's good though. It's good because every day's a school day. Do you have any Strat pickups that we like?
Well,
ones that you could buy, second hand. Ones that you can buy off the shelf, as opposed to I really like the ones that are in the Silver Sky, but you can't buy them.
No,
really...
I think give us a couple of weeks to get the ones from Kinman, and then because those you can buy because they're being sent to us, and they're an easy solderless refit. I think that'd be quite interesting.
Hold on, I'm sure there must be some. I mean, look, all the Fenders. I like Texas Specials.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the Fender Texas Specials. I like the way they sound. So if you like that sort of Steve Ray Vaughan type, slightly hotter output than say like the custom shop pickups I've got in that guitar there, that I don't really like that much. Yeah, I really like Texas Specials. So if that helps,
go with that.
Lee says, James, what is that dot on your wall above the aux box? I keep thinking it's on my iPad screen and keep wiping it away, lol.
It's a picture hook. That's all it is. It's a picture hook. When we moved in 7 months ago, the picture hooks were still here, and most of them I've put pictures on, but that one, because I've got the aux and the amp stack there, I just haven't. So sorry, Lee. It's not a dirty screen. It's a picture hook. Sorry. Let's go down there a little bit.
Clive said he just sold his. He just sold mine. Wonder what he's just sold.
Don't know. Can't remember.
Yeah, Clive, tell us what you just sold. John Wallace says, "I love Aaron's content. Recommend for all you." All YouTubers, yes, thank you. Yeah, we'll definitely check out Aaron's stuff. Keep on playing. The Catalyst is not a katana killer. The intention is in the name itself. They messed it up. You can't have different effects beside each other. For example, chorus delay, reverb. I can get it. Okay, excellent.
At that point, should we dive into some news and some new stuff, because there actually is new stuff going on this week, isn't there?
There is, yeah. Okay. Do you want me to do it?
Please do.
I've got to do it, haven't I?
I'll share the screen. You just get yourself ready.
Okay. Share screens. Yes. Why don't I does this every time? To our screen. Okay.
There we go. Say when. Oh, you've done it yourself. Fair enough.
I've done it myself. So, I mean, there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things.
It sounds like someone from East London saying the name of most kids' first pet.
South London. Amster. Just bought him an Amster. That's really good. I like that. Yeah, so it's slightly different because it's got a tube in it. I mean, right. Black Star did this recently. But it's a valve. It's got a valve in it, but it's got an amp. It's got a sim in it as well, and DI. So it could be just like a bit of a one-stop shop. It's also got a send and return. It's got an effects loop in it, which is quite good. So that could be like, you know, get you out of trouble at a gig.
Yep. If it all goes wrong, and let's face it, it often does.
It often does. Yeah, I haven't heard it yet, so I can't say what it sounds like, but I will be checking it out. And it's £239 if your finest English.
Cool.
Build your own pedals with these new Aeon effects kits. I thought they looked really good.
Yeah, they do. They look great. As much I can't. I'm not that offended by looks. Hence, you know, the metal boxes and stuff from Fuzzdog.
Yep.
But they look great. They look really cool.
They do look really good, don't they? And they work out $94.
Not bad at all.
And there's quite a few of them. So yeah, I think that's great. Quite like that. Now everyone's going nuts over this. Have you seen this?
What I'm more shocked about is the number of people who went nuts about the Super Bowl halftime show.
But
It's
it's a big thing.
It's not my thing musically, so.
Oh, I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but I reckon that'd be great. But yeah, everyone's going nuts about this silver
sky.
Yeah. So, I mean, if the thing is, if you look at that finish, I'm going to try and zoom in, and I don't know if it's just a bad picture.
It doesn't look
great.
No.
So, yeah, I don't know what's happened there. Unless it's just
You've got to be really careful photographing that, haven't you? You can't just stand there and take a picture because you're going to be in it.
Yeah. Put some clothes on. Yeah. I mean, it's got. Yeah, I'm not sure, but everyone, you know.
The sad thing is, we didn't actually hear the guitar.
Yeah, absolutely
controversial.
So yes, as loads of people have talked about, including Aaron,
George,
it's a new George. So. Yeah, I guess this was released. When was this released? Late 60s originally?
Yeah, the original ones.
Weighs an absolute ton. But you know, if that's what you're into. So as Aaron said, this one's been routed out, so it's got some weight relief. But it's still €3,000.
Yes.
Unless it's €2.99.8.
No, not quite. No,
I think that point needs to disappear. But anyway, yeah. I don't get this. I don't get it. And do you know why I don't get it? Because I heard a demo of YouTuber doing it, and he just made it sound awful as far as I was concerned.
Excuse me.
Go on. No,
I'm just not sure. I'm just wondering why. If you've already got Line 6 making a successful line of amps,
yeah.
No matter what you think about the Spider, they sell a gazillion of them.
Yeah.
You've got Boss and Roland in that kind of space. You've got Blackstar in that space. You've now got Fender coming into that space as well.
Yeah.
It's just a bit of a weird one. You know, it doesn't.
Well, it's taken on from the Spider, isn't it? It's trying to get on the Boss Katana. It's trying to steal the crown, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be fine. I think it's fine.
But it's not inspiring to look at. But then again, what amps are these days?
Yeah, I mean, it looks very much like a Katana. If you know the whole construction looks very much like a Katana.
And if truth be told, and you know, although I'm not saying this for certain because obviously we don't know, but there is every chance where they are made in the Far East (brackets see China), they're probably coming out the same factory.
Yeah, they are, mate. Yeah. So what's I going to say about it? So years ago, Line 6, I can't even remember the model now. Line 6 released their flagship amp. And it was really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the bloody name of it now. And it was for its time, it was really good. And for me, I don't understand. I don't understand why Line 6 don't go, well, let's make a high end version, an amp version of the Helix.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, even more modern technology, because you know the Helix now is old. It's probably 10 years old. But anyway,
do you want to know the first Line 6 product ever used?
go on.
Amp Farm for Pro Tools TDM.
Yeah, Amp Farm. Yeah, absolutely.
And it was, at the time, it was amazing.
Yeah. I had it on a TDM system, and yeah, I didn't use it very much, to be honest. But okay, so there's that. New Gibson Jerry Cantrell acoustics.
They look very lovely.
They look quite cool, don't they? So there's that one,
cheap though,
which is the Fire Devil, and that one, which is, I think that's quite cool.
I prefer the other one, but
well, there you get that one. You get that one for $4,000, and I'll buy. Exactly. It's unlikely, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I mean the price is very expensive. It's very expensive.
But as we're saying, good instruments are expensive.
They are, yeah, they are. So what have we got here? We've got so the next one we've got the SD1 microphone.
Well, it's not just an SD1, is it? It's a whole range of microphones that Universal Audio are releasing.
Yeah, so I you're not sure about this, but I think this is a great move for Universal Audio.
I get it, but I'm struggling with it and I'm only struggling because of two of them. Universal Audio bought Townsend Labs.
Yeah.
A year or two ago. I'm not exactly sure when.
Did they buy Townsend? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they bought out Townsend Labs.
Oh, okay.
Very smart move. Chris and Eric at Townsend Labs came onto a really amazing thing. They were the first of the modeled microphones that that there are now 3 or 4 variants of.
Yep.
But the Sphere system is amazing. It now looks like they've either teamed up with or bought Bock, who make some incredibly high-end microphones, some beautiful microphones. And you only have to look at the naming conventions for the 3 kind of the seafoam green, the lime green, and the kind of grey blue color one. 251, 167, 187. You're in some pretty high-end company with those sort of numbers. It's the other two I don't get. Let's face it, it looks like an SM7B. It's a dynamic podcasty type microphone with some dip switches on it.
Yeah, but I think they've improved. I think they've improved the design of that. I think I think the bottom mounted XLR is brilliant. I think that's a much better design than an SM7B.
Yeah, agreed. But the other two just look like they've got a couple of Neumann small diaphragms and spray painted them. If I'm honest,
I like it. I love, and I think they look great. I think you and I are.
I think I'm being unnaturally cynical about microphones because normally I'm an absolute microphone freak.
Yeah.
I just think there's nothing terribly exciting there. Townsend Labs is very exciting, but it was very exciting 3 or 4 years, 5 years ago. Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was all right. I tried one. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was. To me,
they'll sell a gazillion of them.
Yeah,
I'm sure. And the Bock ones aren't cheap. The other two, the SD1 and the small diaphragm version, which is called the SP one, are not horrifically expensive, which is great. I'm sure they sound great, and I'm sure that lots of good music will be made with them. So that's the important thing.
Okay, let's go back. Oh, what's happened there?
What have you done? You broke it.
I've broken the internet. You
broke it. All of the internet. And let's get in. I think we're going to be about. There's a lot of. They're chatting amongst themselves, so I'm just trying to kind of.
We like that. We like chats.
Here we go.
Do you know how many likes we've had? Do you know how many thumbs up we've had?
How many?
3.
I thought we were better.
I don't want to beg.
I'm not going to beg. I'm never going to beg. I'm better than that.
Lee Abraham says, are there any shows similar to NAMM that take place in the UK, any worth attending? That's a really good question.
The Great British Guitar Show, although it's not NAMM, it's guitar only, at New Bingley Hall in Birmingham, is really, really good. Or say has been, obviously wasn't the last 2 years because we all know why, but that's been a really, really good event. Now, the thing I like about it is because New Bingley Hall is not New Bingley Hall. I mustn't call it by what I call it. Is not a normal exhibition, trade show, event centre. They don't absolutely clobber you for parking and coffee and food and stuff. It's just a really good place to have a show. And all the normal suspects are there, and there's loads of good, cool people and great makers and stuff like that. It's a great show. So check that one out.
I would do that this year. Would you do that this year?
I can't. You can't either. We can't. I can't go. I would have been working, but I can't.
Dang.
Because I'm already working, and so are you.
Okay.
That's probably the best one at the moment. I mean, there's the bass show, the bass and bass guitar show is all right if you're a bass player. I enjoyed myself at that one last time, but no, the Great British Guitar Show in Birmingham's great. I like that one a lot.
I don't think there's anything like NAMM though. There's nothing to that scale. NAMM is like you walk in the first time, you just can't believe what's going on.
Although the bigger show was always Frankfurt Music Messe.
Was it?
Music Messe is actually a bigger event. You know, it's more halls, more people, more brands, more booths. It has been slowly dying. Sorry, it's been slowly getting smaller. I won't say dying because that's got a negative connotation to it. However, they're kickstarting, rebooting Music Messe in April, I believe, and I think I'm free, and I think I'm going to go.
Let's go. Let's do that.
Let's do Messe.
Yeah,
it might be a diet. It might be an absolute shit show, but you know, what's worse, no show at all? Who knows?
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with manufacturers because they've done so well over this past couple of years of the pandemic and haven't had a show, and so all of them are probably thinking, "Oh, what's the point of doing a show when it's unprecedented times, isn't it?
It's been exceptional, hasn't it? I mean, let's face it. I mean, nobody would have. Let's face it. Most people saw the demise of the music industry because of COVID. They didn't see what actually happened, where the music industry went whoosh because everyone went, "Oh, I've got all this money from furlough and stuff. I'm going to buy a guitar and an amp and stuff." And that's what people did.
Yeah.
We didn't go out. We bought instruments. Well, I certainly did.
That's what you want. Jeff Rock says some tellies have RWRP neck pickups for humbucking in the middle. Some manufacturers offer either option. Nice.
Interesting.
DMAC, my Made in Mexico Vintera 70 Stratus, no hum cancelling positions 2 and 4. Interesting. Did you need a block and tackle to get that mezzo up there, Max? Yeah.
It's not a light beast, is it?
Not light. Mezzos are particularly heavy. Martin Collier says we want vintage Strats, the king of all Strats. Yeah. Keith Milner, at Lee, there's been a few which have come and gone. Nothing has really lasted more than a few years. They're usually London or Birmingham. Yeah. It's so true, though. I mean,
so it was bizarre because one of the reasons I ended up working with Future Cheer doing the whole cheerleading thing was that Sonny and I were up in Manchester doing a show that lasted one show, the Great British Music Fair at Manchester Central, where we were over the weekend. It did one show and it died. BBC Introducing was a great show for the first year. The second year, they forgot to announce it.
Well done.
It was ridiculous. There's a few. I mean, Keith's gonna actually say the next one.
London International Guitar Show is on in October this year. Apparently, it's the 5th year, but I don't think they really did much in the last 2 years.
Well, no one did any shows. It was, I mean, I'll try and get to that one certainly, but I like the Great British Guitar Show in Birmingham. That's a great show.
Nice. Martin says Kemper great live, but I've noticed problems when recording. Not so real. Yeah, I think it sounds with the Kemper. I think no one would know you weren't playing through an amp. It sounds, if you model an amp, you capture it and it sounds great. No one would know it's not. But you can if you're picky,
it's a feel thing.
It's a feel thing. It's still good. We're talking about tiny sort of thing.
Yeah.
Keith Milner, I don't think any of them are particularly great. I've been to a few, had my fill after an hour or two. unless they have decent workshops. Yeah.
But I'm a trade show. I love trade shows. I love events. I love the whole. For me, it's about as much about the people as it is about the gear and the new stuff.
Okay.
And I'm lucky. I know a lot of people at these sort of things, so it's different. But I get it.
John Gordon says, "What are your thoughts on the Fender Player Series Telecasters?" Great.
That's fantastic guitars.
Well, try them out. Try one out. Don't buy one blind. Go and try a few out, and you'll find the one that you like, because they're not all great. They're not all great. So if you go and try out a load in the shop, you'll go, "Oh, that one's better than that one." Why is that?
Always, because all wood is different.
Yes. But yeah, especially with the Player Series, I find
actually, they're all chatting amongst themselves, aren't they? There we go. Let's go there.
Sadly, bananas can. I bought coconut shampoo today. But when I got home, I realised I don't even have a coconut. I like that.
Yes.
Bill, 1949. How do you incorporate a compression pedal in your signal chain? I use it first. Yeah, but some people don't. But yes, I always and I think James would as well. Yeah. First thing in the chain.
After the pedal, after the tuner.
No, actually, my tuner is last in the chain because my tuner's got a buffer on it.
Mine hasn't, so it's first.
Yeah. First in the chain, I tend to find that what happens is compress the guitar, the raw guitar signal.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say compress, it's such a little light. It's so light. I'm hardly touching it. And then that's because if you go after, say, like distortion pedals, overdrive pedals, it would just slam it. And also overdrive basically adds some compression anyway, because it's what it does to the actual wave.
Yeah.
Think of a sine wave, like your guitar signal sine wave. When you put distortion on it, distortion, especially, or fuzz, just blocks it off. It's just a block.
Yeah.
So it adds compression.
It's adding harmonic content, which effectively, compresses. Also for bass, it wants to be the first thing.
I would have thought so. Yeah.
Off the jack lead into the compressor pedal.
Yeah.
And don't always think that the compressor used on a bass has to be different. A good compressor, full stop, is a good compressor.
Yeah, some aren't full range enough to cope with the bass frequencies.
True.
Or what they'll do is, they'll compress the bass frequencies more than they would the top end frequencies. So I think for bass, personally, you need a multiband, and Boss do a multiband compressor that works quite well. It works really well.
I actually still think the best bass compressor pedal is the what are they called? Dark Glass. It's amazing.
Yeah. I imagine that's multiband.
It is. Actually, it's about 3 different types of compressor in one pedal. It's amazing.
K Michael P. Texas Specials are custom shop. Interesting.
Also, we missed out.
You're always so generous. Thanks, mate. Very kind of you. We didn't see that. Otherwise, Pet would have been put to the top of the list.
It would.
Pet says, I've got a set of 13s on my acoustic and recently played a Baby Taylor with lower gauge. The difference was astounding. Gauge preference both. On acoustic, I'm a little bit wimpy. 11s.
I think I'm on 13s. I think I'm on 13s. Do you know what? I actually couldn't tell you. That's appalling, isn't it? I think it's 13s on my Eggle acoustic. But to be fair, you could put 15s on that thing and it would be so playable. I don't think that there is such thing as 15s, but you could, and it would be so playable. You could put steel bars across that thing and it would still be playable.
I think it's about playability. I think it's about for me, an acoustic is when I want to record an acoustic. I rarely record the acoustic like it's a single instrument, like it is the main focus. So for me, I want something that's going to be a little bit thinner, so it's going to cut through the mix a little bit more and not take up too much space.
Interesting. But what's on when we did that solo for the Sabine Teals track?
Yeah.
What did you change strings for the solo to make it more forward, or did you just hit it harder?
No, just no. That was
great. That solo's awesome.
Oh, thank God. Yeah. No, I like 11s. I like it a bit light. If I want to bend, if I do want to bend a note, I can do it on 11s. 13s, you're gonna break a finger.
Yeah.
Unless you're proper manly, not like me. I'm not gifted with shovels for hands, so I'm guessing 13s would be doing more harm than good. Yeah, I mean, I think 13s are too heavy. I think just try a set of, maybe try a set of 12s, and then after you try the 12s, try the 11s, or try the 11s. If you find them too light, go to a set of 12s. But you'll notice a massive difference.
Yeah.
I think Keith says, I think Line 6 would have been better releasing something under the Yamaha brand. Do you know what?
Because they are owned by Yamaha.
Yeah, that's so true, actually. I think they would.
It's a weird one, though, because I don't think Yamaha don't do, or certainly considering they're a Japanese company, and Japanese companies are known for, taking everything in-house and squashing it and making it Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem to have done that with Yamaha, with Line 6.
Yeah.
Certainly have done with Dorico and the remnants of the Spalius crew. That's very much a Yamaha branded thing, or a Steinberg branded thing.
Yeah.
And obviously Steinberg is part of Yamaha. But Line 6 seem to have been left to do their own thing, which I think is why they're not, bundled with Yamaha tech. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Seems to me.
Maybe all modeling stuff now is from Yamaha. Is just they just go right with that's Line 6. We don't do that's that side of the business. Steve says, "Great show tonight, guys. Gonna go and cry at how strange I look on camera. Definitely a face parade. Not at all, mate. That's it. And honestly, I think it's one of those things you look at yourself on a camera and you go, oh God."
How long did it take you when you were recording, started doing your first voiceovers and recording yourself? How long did it take you to realize that the person you were hearing was actually you? I remember.
I was quite early. I was sort of recording singing and stuff. So I think you realize, you go, wow, that's not how I sound, and then you just become used to it. For me, I sound like I don't know, like I sound like very manly and deep voiced, but I hear myself in my head, because that's what's resonating about. There's not a lot up here, so it's just resonating. It sounds very deep. But yeah, and I know on camera, I was like,
someone said to me the other day, if it's like that on the outside, what's it like on the inside?
Absolutely. Odd UK, it's funny that each new digital generation claims to have bridged the gap between digital and analog, but 2 years later it's dated and now improved. When will digital stuff plateau? I don't think it will.
I think
good question.
Everyone said, sonically, it will get to a stage, and this is in recording rather than in modeling and effects and stuff. Everyone said it got to a stage when we hit 32-bit floating point at 192 kilohertz. It is indistinguishable from the real thing. The noise and all the artifacts and stuff it's all then down to what you put in the way.
Mm-hmm.
As in, microphones have a flavor, they have a tone to them. Mic pre's do, EQs do, desks do, as opposed to sticking your ears in a room next to the thing you're recording. I think with guitar technology, it's not tone, it's speed, and this is the thing that I found with the Quad Cortex. There is processing takes time. They need to speed up that latency. They need to get that delay down. Then all of a sudden, we'll start to go. I remember the first time having waited like 7 months for the thing. It arrived. I plugged it in, put some headphones in, and went, oh. And I even phoned you the first night I had it. I went, this was not worth the wait.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know there's been updates and stuff since, but I still think I did the best thing and got rid of it early doors.
The Quad Cortex you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you, and it's always put, like the guys. If you think of I don't know, let's have a think. I'm trying to think of a famous guitar player that doesn't use and doesn't like any amp modeling. I mean, let's pick a name out of the hat. Probably Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Now, And so as soon as someone says, well, it doesn't sound right, it still doesn't feel right, people go, oh, they're not embracing the new technology, or they're old fogies, they're not, it's great, and they're just stuck in their ways. And it's still not there yet. And
it's a feel. When someone like Eric Johnson can turn around and say, oh, I use a Kemper 2025 edition, or a Quad Cortex 2030 edition, then we're there. When those kind of tone hounds turn around and say, yeah, this is better than, this is where I can tell the difference between a Never Ready and a Duracell battery, allegedly.
So you've got to give someone like Eric Johnson his credit, because he's obviously been offered all that stuff, and he really sticks to his guns. He goes, no, it's still not right. It's still not right. I'm not going to do it.
When it's right, I'm sure
he would.
We'll know about it.
Yeah.
Joe Bonamassa, for example, as well.
Absolutely.
All that level of player, the guys that I suspect everyone on this show, everyone listening to this show, listens to. When those guys are embracing it, then I think we've reached ground zero, and we're there.
Well, surely with Joe Bonamassa, you've just got to be offered the right deal. You just got to...
Jordan Rudess will be the first.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as if Joe Bonamassa can sell it with a pair of flip flops and put it on his website and sell it himself, he'll endorse it, because he does actually endorse things like Epiphones and stuff. So he's not like the Eric Johnson. He's a little bit more.
But I think when he comes out of tone, he is a tone hound.
He's an amazing. He's an amazing guitar player, amazing tone. He's just fantastic. Yeah. Here we go. I love these. Sounding banana cam. Two windmills are standing in a field. One asks the other, "What kind of music do you like?" The other one says, "I'm a big metal fan." That joke.
I like that.
Pet says, "Keep me on it. I was looping Angelina by Tommy Emmanuel, and ease of playability on a lighter gauge was a long overdue revelation. Not to mention no hand strain with those 13s. Old age pain is settling in." It's true. I mean, I used to do gigs. I used to be the acoustic guitar player.
That was a full stop. I used to do gigs.
I used to do gigs. I used to be the acoustic guitar player in this band, this sort of touring band, and I remember the first few months of doing that gig was like, halfway through the gig, hands going, oh!
I get halfway through a song and my hands going.
Yeah, it's a real thing with acoustic guitars and hand strength and
bar chords on acoustic are like.
Yeah, that's probably another reason for not choosing 13s. And if I'm recording a track, it's amazing how much pain you're prepared to go through to not press stop and then start again. And you go at the end, you go, ah!
You get to the press stop and your hand just goes.
Yeah. Lee Abraham says, I feel that Line 6 Boss, Blackstar, etc. should maybe concentrate on a small portable pedal that combines valve front end with good digital effects. It seems to be lots of almost option. But the only thing is, so let's have a look at those.
Well, at this point, it seems only appropriate to be joined by the writer.
It's here. Sorry.
Yeah, the writer of said comment, Mr. Lee Abraham.
Hi guys. I didn't want to. I kind of promised myself I wasn't going to come on this week because I've been on for about 3 weeks running.
You're more than welcome.
But thanks. You just touched upon a subject which is quite close to my heart actually. When you were talking about top end players and digital gear.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that I think there's one aspect that you didn't mention, and that is. And I think it was neatly summed up when I went to a Mike Portnoy drum clinic years ago. And someone said to him, why do you have a drum kit that big? And he said, there are two reasons why I have a drum kit this big. Number one, I don't have to pay for it. And number two, I don't have to set it up, tear it down and carry it. So, and I think that applies to a lot of these top end guitar players and gear. So the only reason why Eric Clapton uses vintage plexis or whatever, or Eric Johnson uses Dumbles or whatever it might be, is money is no issue, and they got roadies to carry the gear for them. So
I think you're right. I don't mean like top end guitar players, like I mean like people that are recognized as as those the famous guitar players, the ones that we all consider to be like the tone hounds, the ones that are just like the ones that when they play you instantly go, I know who that is. Let's think of and there's another reason, and there is another reason for that. So Eric Johnson, Eric Clapton,
Brian May.
Brian May. Oh, absolutely. Mark Knopfler. Yeah. Brilliant. That's a great one. Absolutely. Steve Lukather even. Yeah. I mean, the list can go on. Joe Bonamassa.
None of whom have sold out down the digital road.
Well, Steve Lukather did the 80s rack thing, but it's not really the same.
It was still amp. It was still valves and preamps and stuff. It wasn't digital amp cloning, should we say?
But also, I don't think. But there are there are these top end bands now. Okay, let's think of like a massive band like Metallica.
Yeah.
Who go out and they use Axe effects.
Yeah.
Because and loads of bands now are, especially more the pop bands, or if you're a pop artist and you have a band behind you, they're normally silent stages. So they always say, well, you've got to have you've got to have a Kemper, you've got to have a line 6 Helix, you've got to have all that sort of stuff, and everyone goes in ears, and you go, okay, well that's what we've got to do. But what's my point here? I don't think there's any difference for me personally, and I know you use like an amp modeler and stuff, but for me personally, I don't see the difference. If you're going to take around a Bosch GT1000, Bosch GT1, whatever, and some pedals, and also a cab like some sort of monitoring FRFR cab, do you use one of them?
Yeah,
to me that's no different to it's going to be heavier, but that's no different to picking up an amp and a pedal board and taking it there and letting someone else mic it up.
It's
got a point. Go on.
But I used to have so I was a complete valve head. Go back 5 years, I was a valve head. I had Orange, I had Victory. I love Victory gear.
Yeah.
I had the Victory Countess, the Guthrie government designed amp. Just
gonna wipe it off the screen for you.
But I that Victory amp, it had staging, so you could take it down in terms of volume. You could run it on one power amp or the other power amp or whatever it might be, one valve, I should say. But I was some venues which were big, that we'd play a party in a big hall or something. And I could let the amp breathe, so I could put it on both power amp tubes. I could run it on high mode, and I could turn the volume up to about 6 or 7, and it sounded absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Then the next night we'd play the Dog and Duck, which is about the size of my front room.
Yeah.
And the whole band has to squeeze into the corner.
Yeah.
And everyone in the band is saying, "Don't take up too much room. Don't take up too much room." So you got miles and miles of cable, which is all piled on top of each other because you're not in a big venue. Yeah. So, and then as soon as we strike the first note, you realize that you're 15 times too loud. So you have to turn your not only do you have to crank the amp down to 1 power tube, you have to turn the volume down to about 3. And it just sounds crap. And I'm just thinking, what's the point of me carting about all this stuff when all I need is a GT1 through an FRFR that's going to sound the same, which I hope Boss have modelled it on that tube amp at volume 8, rather than volume 3. So they've done the hard work for me, so that I can then run that at any volume.
Yeah.
And also, when it's pissing down with rain, I've only got to make one trip to the car.
Yeah, no, and I hear you. I personally think if you love that, if you love the way it feels and the way it sounds, that's fantastic. And that's,
I won't say I love it. I like the it's a toss up between convenience, tone, price.
I almost wish I mean, and tell me if you've already done this, but I almost wish before you sold all your valve gear, you'd have got something like a 2 Notes Captor X and plugged your valve amp into that, so it's driving properly, and then you can have it any level you want, but you're still using that valve amp.
Yeah, possibly. I don't think they existed when I had the Victory stuff, actually, because they're fairly new product, aren't they?
It's such a shame because you're not that far from me, but I'd love to bring down like an attenuator sort of thing and plug it in, and it's still not the same. It's still not the same as having the amp cranked up.
Yeah.
But it's for me that's the compromise for me.
It's funny. I remember doing say that was the weekend of the greatest gig I will ever play, and we turned up to do what we thought was a scout gig, a scout hut gig type thing, and we turned up. And it turns out it was the 100th anniversary Scout and Guide Jamboree at Highlands Park, which the following fortnight would have been the V Festival stage to 48,000 scouts. Now, they could have been 48,000 fetuses for all I cared. There was 48,000 of them, and the ones at the back were really, really small. So we did this enormous proper stadium rock gig. It was incredible. And quite literally, the next night we were playing the Cork Bar in Felixstowe with the world's worst get-in, and our guitar player Steve took in his 4x12 with his Marshall dual 100-watt what they called the monoblock amp thing, and his JMP1, and we cranked it all the time, and he went on the volumes, and I went, where's that big rock and roll sound we had last night? And he said, it's tucked in there, right behind those volume controls. There is a place, and there is a place, and there's still a place for the development of the digital guitar sound, but we ain't there yet. When you can get, I mean, I've been saying to drum companies for years, why do you keep making drums louder? Can't you just make them quieter but sound as good as they do when they're loud?
Yeah.
I want a drum. I want to be able to hit a drum.
Yeah.
It'd be quite quiet, but still go.
Yeah.
Why can't you? Why can't that?
Yeah.
Why make it louder? Everyone plays at venues now where there's Christmas tree meter things on the wall, 3 red lights and you're out, and it kills the power. And it normally gets blamed on the drummer, even though it's the bass player, because it's sustained notes. That's right. I just get so annoyed. Everything has to be louder. That makes me sound like a really old man. I love it loud, but if the venues and the world is making me turn it down, then let's make everything turn down, but still be good.
Yeah. Well, it kind of feeds into my my comment that you were just about to read out before I came on. That I just wish, instead of constantly releasing the same product by, so we've had the Black Star ID, we've had the Katana, we've now got the Catalyst, essentially the same box. Why don't they concentrate on releasing something which is, like you say, it's small, it's compact, so you can use it at Wembley Stadium, but you can also use it at the Dog and Duck as well. And it sounds like a cranked analog valve front end, but it's also got all of that digital know-how in the back end as well for the effects and the cabs.
Well, there is sort of something like that.
They're sort of there, aren't they? But as I said in the comment, there's lots of almost products. So there's lots of it's almost there, but it's not quite, And I just think there's so much know-how in these companies and so much clever wizardry and technology. You'd think they would just work on it. It's a shame they don't.
And I think personally, I think the closest they've got to, well, one of the things that I think guitarists like different pedals or different sounds. And I think if Line 6, almost contradicting what I said earlier, if Line 6 came out with an amp, like a high-end amp that had everything, people would go, well, hold on a second, I don't want to use Line 6 effects. I want to use my Strymon effects, and I want to do that. So that's why I think Sir have got it right with the Pete Thorne PT15, because it's a valve amp, 15-watt valve amp, but it's got an attenuator built in, and it's got IRs built in, so you can go, well, I'm going to send that out to the front of house so they can get that. I don't have to. It's going to sound the same every single night, but it's still going to feel like my amp, and it's got effects loops on it, so I can still run all the effects that I want into it.
But can't they just produce that PT15 as a small box? Because it's an amp head, isn't it?
So, it is an amp head, and it's it's not cheap. It's definitely not cheap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but if they could just produce it in sort of manageable pedal size, that'd be fantastic, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What a fantastic product that would be.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go.
So we have to build it, basically.
Is that a case of if we build it, they will buy it, or if we build it, they will come?
Well, you hope so, don't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, chaps, right, won't take up any more time because you've got
Cheers,
lots to do still. Cheers. See you later.
Mate. Take care.
Buddy. Right, we've got 15 minutes to power on through a lot of content.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to be fairly picky about where we're going because there we go.
Okay, so you won't be attending Uli Fest in Uli Fest. Wow.
No.
Is there going to be? Is there a Behringer Fest?
I tell you what, I'm trying to get us tickets for though.
What's that?
A Sweetwater Gear Fest.
Yeah, I'll be up for that. Also, if we do that, we have to pop in to see Keith.
Yes,
I think
that'd be
Keith's
amazing
to put us up, isn't it, at some point?
Yeah, we'll try and do Sweetwater.
Well, Nidomido, Death of Music Gear Industry. I bought 7 guitars, sold one of them, and 3 others. I bought 7 guitars, sold one of them, and 3 others. Isn't that 4? I'm a bit.
Yeah.
I bought 20 plus pedals, 2 boards, sold my amp, bought 2. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I get it. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now I must save money, but there are good used guitar deals. Help. I think it's there are worse habits to have than buying. If you've got, yeah,
far worse.
Let's
face it. We haven't been to the pub in 2 years. We haven't probably gigged properly. We haven't done any of the things. There's that old adage, isn't there? The definition of a musician is someone who puts £5,000 worth of kit in a car that's worth £1,000 to drive 300 miles to do a gig that's worth 50 quid.
Absolutely.
That's that.
But we do the music because we love the music and we love the thrill of doing that. It's not a job, is it? It's not a. No. I mean, it is a job, but
and for some people, it got to the stage with me in the talent where it was a job, and it was a job I didn't like doing very much. I still did it, and I still did it to the best of my ability. But I did come off stage going,
yeah, we all do things like that.
Yeah, I was doing 4 or 5 a week of those, and you think it's time for a change.
Yes, that was a good move. Yes. Keith says London Bass Guitar Show was good a few years back. I accidentally gate crashed Joel Wobble's rehearsal. No, it's fine.
Good work.
Nidomido says, mind you, I play my guitars and use my pedals. That's it. If you love it and you play them,
I can safely say that every amp, every guitar, every pedal in this room gets used once a month, at least once a month.
Great, nice.
And there's a lot of guitars in here now.
Yeah. Nidomido says, although I do play my guitars and use my pedals and amps, recording some music little by little. Nice.
Good.
Jeff Rock, James, you think you would get similar results using the Valve preamp pedal, something like one of the Victory V4s in the loop of the Synergy as you do using the dedicated preamp modules? It's a good point. It's a good question.
I don't think I'd use it in the loop. I think I'd put it ahead of the amp.
No, that's not how you do it.
Oh, do you not?
No. Those Synergy racks, what they do is they go, so it's a funny connection.
Right.
Plug into the Synergy rack.
Yeah.
It goes through your effects loop, and there's also a lead that goes off the front of your amp. So when you switch, you can then switch in and out.
Right.
You can either use your amp and bypass the Synergy, or you can use the Synergy instead of your amp.
Cool. I like that.
If you go in the front, if basically, if you take one of those Synergy modules, you go in the front of your amp. You've got it's fine. You've got a preamp.
Yeah.
It's a really clever way of doing it. They did sort that out, and it was a good option.
Cool.
Here we go.
I'll try that.
Sound Liz Banana Cam says, when does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes fully grown. Very good. I like his gags.
I do.
I'm guessing it's a he. Bill 1949, is the Fender Performer series a step up from the Player series? I can't remember I'd have to have a look.
I want to say no. I think Performer is lower than Player.
I think you're right. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think that's right. But however,
Ned Amido, thanks, mate. Very kind of you.
And I think this puts it in context, doesn't it?
That was another name I was thinking. That's another guitar player you instantly know when he plays.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Anyone who you can go guitar, lead, amp is not interested in modelling.
The only one that I think is again one of those guitar players you instantly know who it is Angus Young. But Angus Young always uses that wireless system.
Yes. So that's so he can bunny hop around the stage, though, isn't it? Rather than
no, part of the sound. He loves the sound of that particular unit. I think he even uses it in the studio.
I'd love to say it's a Nady, but it's probably not.
Maybe. Dennis McCowan says, going back to a film camera to escape the megapixel race, plus a lazy J20 is all the amp I need. Nice one.
The megapixel race. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same in every corner, every hobbyist genre, isn't it? I'm not saying that we're all hobbyists, but you know what I mean. In every pursuit, that's a better word. You know, there's the tech thing. That cameras have got it for megapixels. Guitarists have got it for, you know, pedals and stuff. And drummers don't. Even drummers have it. They want to make drums louder.
Yeah. K. Muckleby says Line 6 made the Bogner Alchemist. They did, and what a flop that was.
Yes.
Yeah. But it was such a good idea. Do you know what? I think that really hurt Reinhold Bogner's reputation for a while.
Yeah.
Derek.
Sorry, I'm jumping.
Derek says, with the great amp, I tend to play the amp more than the guitar in a way. I've never felt that with anything digital. Very true. Very true.
Because it's moving air. If you've got a real amp cranked and there's air moving, it's easier. It's so much easier.
Oh. Mendel Rocks, still and not yet given up on my QC. Mostly, I only turn it on to update it and prefer playing through my real amps when playing at home and on headphones and searching for inspiration. No, I mean it's there's nothing wrong with the QC. You know, James and I will have a go. There's nothing wrong with modelers if that's what you want to use. Great. It's just a feel thing. The QC is it's really clever, and the design of it is amazing.
The design is as close to perfect, and so the interface is great. Yes. Doesn't give me the fizzle, and for 1,500 notes, it needs to give me the fizzle.
Dennis says the lazy J20 and a Rutters Esquire, no digits except my fingers. Nice.
Yeah.
Tim Pierce surrounded by valve amps. Yes, absolutely.
But he's also got a what's the thing? The rack, the version 3 rack thing, German, that we can't afford. The modeler.
Axefx.
Axefx, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
He does. And he also, I don't know how much he uses it. I've heard that Axefx, that Robert Baker plays through the Axefx. Sounds incredible.
And the FM9, I've heard Tim Pierce play and go, wow. But the thing is, you might have heard them play it, feel, and you don't get that from not playing it.
I played the FM3 and I didn't like it. I thought it still had that.
I might try an FM9 next time I'm out and about.
David Brose, of the 4 shows I told you to attend, not a Kemper nor a Line 6 in attendance. No offense, Billy Gibbons would say. What the fuck is that? Diddy Black, my home built JTM 45 2x12 Scumbacks, Governor pedal, and Les Paul sounds great. Have to use a hot plate though to tame the JTM 45. Yeah, that's a loud amp.
Certainly is.
Gal says, if you aspire to be a pro, find out the size, audience, and space before the gig, and take the tool or the job. Yeah,
it's a lovely idea, Gal. But what if? And we used to get this on tour when we were on tour with the band. What if the night on a Friday night you're doing a wedding in a big London venue to 1,000 people, say, and the next night you're not going home, you're not going back to your place of residence or where your gear's stashed, you're going to do a gig for 5,000 people, and then the next night you're going to play a pub in wherever. You can't have 3 lots of gear out on the road with you, otherwise you'd be pulling a long wheelbase Pantechnicon.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Because people used to say, "Is your PA big enough for this venue?" And we'd go, "Oh, you're being funny, aren't you?" You know, because we'd break the PA down, but still it'd be big cabinets, big boxes, big amps, things like that. You can't have 3 lots of gear on the road with you. You just can't. I wish that was ideal world. Yes, you turn up with the right gear for the job. Absolutely.
I think what Gal's saying is, you know, if you take, you know, sometimes you need a Kemper, sometimes, you know, or a Cortex, and sometimes you need an amp.
Agreed, but it doesn't always work like that, unfortunately.
Pete Thorne has just done the classic rock tour with a single PT15 IR, no mics. Interesting. He ran the IR out with the cab sims off into the Quad Cortex and used the IRs in that front of house and monitors. That's interesting. I wonder why I did that.
Interesting, but I do know that again, the Classic Rock Show tour, other than drums, it ain't far off a silent stage for other than monitors. You know, there's no big backline guitar amps because they want to have 35 different amps because they want to have all those close replicas of the amp sound for those tracks. You know, you don't want to be playing a Marillion track through a 5150, for example. You want a Marillion song played through a AC120,
right?
Which is where something like a Kemper or a Quad Cortex or a Modeler is perfect.
Yes. What about a Blue Guitar Amp 1? Yeah, absolutely.
Great little thing.
Yeah,
amazing.
Dilly, you're very kind. Thank you very much. I look sometimes and always want to improve, but it's nice you say that. But thank you.
Wow, we got there, buddy. We got to the end of our pile of questions. Well, I mean, amazing. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us this evening. It's been a guest frenzy. Amazing.
It's been nice, and thank you to Nidomido and Pet for your very kind
super chat
donations to the Baby Sham Fund.
Yes, or the sick horses. We don't know they're sick when we bet on them, but hey. So we will be back next week for more of the same for episode. I can't believe episode 90 next week. What's going on?
Nice.
We're still here. Have a great week, everyone. Take care, stay safe, and all that sort of stuff. It looks like we're nearly out of the thick of it, certainly here in the UK. So all that sort of stuff. We will see you again next week for more of the same. Good night.